Hello and welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, as we're all set for opening day between the defending national champions, Wisconsin Whitewater, and the Trinity University Tigers. Hello everybody, I'm Cole Isaacson here in San Antonio, Texas. We're all very excited for this opening day matchup between two teams that made the College World Series last season, starting with the University of Wisconsin Whitewater, the defending national champions, and went on a torrid run through the final site. We can run through their lineup now. See it on your screen. They start with Aaron Holland, one of the few returning bats for them, who will lead off, also playing catcher. Andy Thies will hit second. Danny Hopper hitting third. Cade Honkamp at first base. Leighton Bowers doing the DH duties today. Dominic McVeigh in center, Nelson Phillips in left, Wyatt Jensen in right, and Jackson Spring will round things out in the 9-hole at shortstop. And then on the mound for the Tigers, it's Carter Aldman who gets the opening day nod. Did not make an appearance last season, was dealing with an elbow injury, but now back and ready to go. Only made one start in his career. It was 2 years ago against East Texas Baptist University. Was pulled in the first inning, viewed as more of an opener than anything else. We'll see how much length he gives the Tigers today. Was thrown into action late after some unexpected news on the injury front for Trinity. And here he is on the bump in a World Series rematch. These two meeting in Eastlake, Ohio. He'll face Aaron Holland to get things going in the 2026 season, as we're underway from One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, with ball one. Holland, one of the most productive batters in the Whitewater lineup last season. 54 appearances, hit .403. Led the nation with 94 hits. Pitch misses low, and the count now 2-0 in favor of Holland. Wisconsin Whitewater in their all-black uniforms. Trinity in their all-sky blue. A new uniform addition from just last season. They start opening day with it. This pitch rides inside, and now all of a sudden 3-0. Holland second on the team in batting average last season, but towards the top in the country. Third in the nation in total bases last year, 153. And he takes ball four for his first base of 2026. Such a patient lineup, offensively driven. As Whitewater, that's some of the things that you have to consider with these schools that are inside. That all they do is hit because they can't really play the field because there's snow on it. Part of why Whitewater is so good offensively. Andy Thies checks into the batter's box. Thies, a .346 hitter last season, and takes the first strike of the inning, thrown by Aldman. Thies out of Tallahassee, Florida, a senior this year. Pitch from Aldman. In the dirt, gets away for a second, but Writing able to hop on top of it. Matthias Writing starting at catcher as Nick Lazara graduated last year. Writing hoping for a better offensive season, but they've always been very impressed with his defense, showing it there. Now the 1-1 pitch to Thies. Holland waiting on first, and there's a line drive into left center field, a base hit. Holland will stop at second, and the first two Warhawks are aboard in this inning. Thies, the lefty, hitting the ball the other way. See here on the replay. Such a nice, easy swing right over the shortstop, Cam Champness. And that's what Whitewater does so well, just hits line drives. Mentioned how Holland was third in the country in total bases. Two teammates were the two people in front of him. First pitch from Aldman, a strike to Danny Hopper, who will play third base this evening. Hopper played 46 games last season, a .379 average. Went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI against Trinity in the World Series last year. Takes the ball low. Already 2 Warhawks aboard. No outs here in this inning. Holland reaching on a walk. Thies with a base hit. And now Danny Hopper trying to do damage. Takes a pitch in the dirt, nicely blocked by Writing behind the plate. Count now 2-1. The wind blowing pretty steadily, as you might be able to hear in my microphone. Blowing just out into left field. Not strong gusts so far, though. We'll see how things develop throughout the night. They try the back pick. Back to Coney, but Holland able to get in safely. Now the 2-1 pitch. 2 Warhawks aboard. Hopper showing no signs of bunting. Ready to swing it. Swing and a miss there. 82 miles per hour out of the hand of Aldman. Looking for his first out of the inning. Count even at 2-2. This one tapped foul as Holland will stay alive, or excuse me, Hopper will stay alive. The Warhawks, such an impressive World Series run last season. They scored 15 runs per game, but the Tigers gave them their closest battle of the entire final sight. Warhawks winning that game 7-3. 2-2. Ground ball, diving play by Chapness. Throw to second in time. Throw to first, not in time. Hopper able to beat it out, but a nice diving stop by the senior shortstop, Cam Chapness. Nearly turned 2 out of it as well. Full extension to keep that ball from going into center field, and the flip to get the out. You see very clearly safe on that replay as well. Unable to turn 2. Now Cade Hongkamp, the first baseman, takes ball 1, 88, out of the hand of Aldman. Hongkamp with 11 games played last season, batted 100. Only hit last season came against St. Mary's, Minnesota. Did not get a lot of playing time, and that's going to be a common theme as we get through this lineup for Whitewater. Dave Smith coming out to visit his starting arm. Has one down and runners at the corners. But a common theme we're going to see from the Warhawks so far this season is how are they going to manage with all these players that filled in with mostly bench roles last season. A couple of transfers coming in as well, as I'm sure we'll get into throughout the weekend. But a lot of new faces, maybe the mentality for them. Everything is different. Nothing has changed. They lost 18 guys off of their championship run last season. A lot of them key contributors, including Adam Kootway and Matt Skolin. Meeting adjourned, and Aldman ready to go. Facing Hongkamp. One down in the inning. Pitch outside, and it's 2-0. Aldman trying to find something. Has one out in this inning by way of the diving play from Cam Chapness. Runners at the corners for Whitewater. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw from Writing to second. It's a little bit offline, not in time. Holland thought about coming from third to home, but thought better of it. He stays there. A stolen base for Andy Thies. See the stolen base here. That's actually going to be Hopper out at third. Strike called. So Hopper at second, Holland at third. Count even at 2-2. One down in this inning. Aldman, breaking ball, misses outside, and Writing has to slide to his right to keep that from getting to the backstop. The count now runs full. 3-2 pitch. Whitewater trying to strike first on opening weekend. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. First strikeout of the season for Carter Aldman and Trinity. 2 down in the inning. See what pitch he went with here. Fastball right on that outside edge at 89. And it brings up Leighton Bowers, the senior from Mineral Point, Wisconsin, his first year with the program. Kicks a ball low, one of 12 transfers that have been implanted into this lineup. Ahead 1-0 right now. Takes a strike. Aldman trying to get out of the first inning here, something he was unable to do in his only other career start. Strike called. Bowers steps out for a second. And now ready to go. A 1-2 pitch. Lined the other way into left field. One run comes around. Another being waved from second. This ball gets all the way into the corner. A 2 RBI double for Bowers in his first hit with the program. It's 2-0 Whitewater. Just hits the ball the other way, something we've seen in the 2 hits so far in this inning for Whitewater. So good at spraying the ball all over the yard. And now the center fielder, Dominic McVeigh, will come up to the plate. They try to get him at second, dives back safely. Bowers nearly got caught napping. Tried that back pick a couple of times at second. McVeigh's numbers from last year, a .293 hitter in 48 appearances, went 0 for 4 against Trinity in that World Series matchup. Takes a strike. Count 0-1 to McVeigh. Whitewater up 2-0 off the 2 RBI double from Leighton Bowers, who waits on second. Strike called, outside edge. That fastball coming out of Aldman's hands in the high 80s. Couldn't finish the last time he had 2 strikes. We'll see what he does here. The 0-2. In the dirt and nicely blocked once again by Riding. Trinity and Whitewater, 2 programs very familiar with each other over the last several years. It's their 3rd regular season series in 5 years. And then met in the World Series last year. The 1-2 misses. And deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. Whitewater up 2-0. Aldman delivers. Misses low in the dirt, and Riding once again has to block that. Count runs full. Carter Aldman, an unexpected starter after some injury news that Trinity faced. Thrown into this situation, now trying to get out of the inning. Spins off the backside and has to throw. More of a stall tactic than anything at that point. And now, the 3-2 pitch. Trinity trying to hold the damage to 2. That's strike 3. Aldman ends the inning with a fastball, but not before the Warhawks put up 2. It's 2-0 Whitewater off the RBI double from Leighton Bowers. We'll be back for the bottom of the first. You're watching Tiger Network. Welcome back. The bottom of the first in San Antonio, Texas, and you see the opening day lineup for the Tigers. They'll start with Caleb Woodward, who led off these games for so much of 2025, followed by Callan Singhania, who makes his season debut, hitting second. Will Baker, Nick Jones, Will Dixon, the transfer student, getting the DH duties today. Lustina, after him, finding a new position at third, followed by Cal Coney, Cam Chatness, and Matthias Writing, the catcher, to round things out. And on the mound for Wisconsin Whitewater, Brady Malco made 16 appearances, only one start for the Warhawks last season. Finished with an ERA of 1.78, a 3-0 record. So he faces Woodward to get his season underway. First pitch, a fastball and a strike. Caleb Woodward, an impressive second season, hitting .322 in his sophomore year. Takes another strike. Looked like a changeup out of the hand of Malco. Quickly ahead 0-2 on Woodward. See how deep Malco goes into this game. The 0-2 pitch. Misses high, 91 out of the hand that time. Speaking with Coach John Vodadlich, saying that this is more of a test case for a lot of their pitchers. See some low pitch counts and a lot of guys being thrown in there, so we'll see how far Malco goes. This one inside, Woodward has to back out of the way. Evens the count at 2-2. Warhawks striking first and fast, getting up 2-0. Scored multiple runs in the first inning of that World Series matchup against Trinity. Pitch fouled off out of play. Right over the batting cages, just past the bullpen, outside of left field. Woodward staying alive on that last pitch. 80 degrees at first pitch in San Antonio, and the sun's starting to set. The 2-2, grounded to first, and fielded in time by Hongkamp for out number one. So Malco already able to get the first out of the inning. Gave Woodward a lot of fastballs in that at-bat and works him with a breaking ball that time. And now it brings up Callan Singhania, who playing right field today. Takes a ball outside. Singhania only made 13 appearances last season, 8 starts, hit .269. He got a hit in 6 of 7 games in early March. This one fouled onto the roof, 1, 2, 3, and I lost track of it. Those of you who didn't tune in last season, we count hops here because we don't have an official press box, so I'm broadcasting from the roof. We can see how many times a foul ball hops. The record is 7 somehow. The 1-1 pitch grabs the inside part of the plate. Strike 2. Singhania started and hit second in opening day last season against Austin College. A 10-2 Trinity victory. Swing and a miss here, and that's strike 3. Brady Malco working efficiently, getting the first 2 Tigers. His first strikeout of the season. And once again, the breaking ball. And now Will Baker, the standout first year from last season, ready to get his first at-bat of the season. .293 hitter. And a guy who came into the clutch a lot for Trinity last season, takes ball 1. 2 game-winning hits in that SCAC tournament for Trinity. They won all 3 games. 1 against St. Thomas, 2 against Concordia. Takes the ball outside, 2-0. Tigers winning the SCAC in their final year in it, now in the SAA, Southern Athletic Association. All sports have officially moved there this season. Pitch outside, 2-0. Or excuse me, 3-0. Tigers looking for their first base runner of the night. Strike called, so they won't get it yet. Baker, a patient hitter, trying to use that to get to first base. Instead, fouls it off. Inside-out swing. So that goes out of play. And it brings up a full count. 2-2 Now the 3-2. Outside ball 4, and there is the first base runner for Trinity this season. A 2-out walk worked by Will Baker. So the sophomore Baker on first base, and now Nick Jones enters the batter's box. The transfer from last season, now a senior. 33 appearances, 33 starts, a .292 batting average. Missed 16 games last year due to injury, but finished the year on a 3-game hitting streak. Try and carry that momentum into this season. Fouls the first pitch off, 0-1. Jones in left field today. Of course, those 3 games being Game 2 of the Super Regional against McMurray, and then the 2 games the Tigers played in the College World Series against Whitewater and Rowan. Baker running, pitch in the dirt, and Holland doesn't stand a chance. Will Baker slides into second safely, and it's a stolen base for Trinity. An unfortunate time for Brady Malco to miss there. That landed in the dirt well before it hit home plate. Now a 1-1 pitch, 2 down, a runner in scoring position for Trinity. Swing and a miss from Jones. 90 miles per hour out of the hand of Malco. Jones trying to come through here. Guy who had 23 RBIs last season, trying to get his first of 2026. Pitch just misses. Good take by Jones. Evens the count at 2-2. Baker waiting on second. The 2-2. Lined into left field, it's a base hit. Baker being waved around third. He will score, and it's 2-1. Trinity gets a run back. The first hit and the first RBI of the season for Nick Jones. Just over the glove of Spring. Very similar to the base hit that Thies had in the top of the first inning. Cut into the lead, now 2-1. And now the Trinity debut for Will Dixon. Bat that they're very excited about. Takes ball 1, you go around and you ask at practice, like, who are the new guys that are going to step up this year? There's fewer of them than there were last year. About 50% of the roster was new last year. But Will Dixon was always the name that I heard. Hits 5th in the lineup today and takes ball 2. So Malco, after getting the first 2 batters with relative ease, a ground out and a strikeout, has now given up a walk and a base hit and a run. Nick Jones waiting on first. Misses, and it's 3-0. You wonder maybe the unfamiliar circumstances of starting a game for Malco. Only started 1 time in 16 appearances last season. Only threw 5 innings 1 time. Takes a strike. Wonder if Dixon had the red light there. Now the 3-1. Big swing and a miss. Tried to go after the fastball high in the zone, and the count runs full. Full count, 2 down in the inning. Nick Jones will be running on this pitch. The 3-2, runner goes, swing and a miss from Dixon, and Malco gets out of the inning, but not before surrendering the Tigers' first run of the season. An RBI single for Nick Jones as we step away. Top of the second coming to you next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. Wisconsin Whitewater leads the Tigers 2-1 after both teams score in their first frames. Now Nelson Phillips set to lead off this inning, the senior from Elm Grove, Wisconsin. In his first year with the program, the transfer. First pitch from Aldman misses way wide and high. Count 1-0. 12 transfers coming in for the Warhawks, trying to replenish this lineup. Strike called. 81 out of the hand of Aldman. Talking to Tigers head coach Tim Scannell about this matchup, and says that Wisconsin Whitewater, so good at athletics across the board, they reload better than almost anyone in the country. Expects that they'll be back. Maybe not as good as they were in 2025. That's going to be hard to do. Maybe one of the best teams in Whitewater history. Only 6 losses all year, but ultimately they're going to be back in good, strong Wisconsin Whitewater form. So far that's proving to be true, up 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Misses inside. Aldman falling behind 3-1, gave up a leadoff walk, then ended up scoring in the top of the first. Strike called, count runs full. Sun is almost completely set here in San Antonio. The lights in full effect. On a beautiful opening day, 80 degrees at first pitch. The 3-2 fouled off as Phillips stays alive. Last I checked, the temperature in Whitewater, Wisconsin, 45 degrees, which I would assume is pretty solid for this time of year over there. Only getting colder, though, the low 29. The 3-2. Chopper sent to third. A fair ball off the glove of Lustina. Tough play with some weird spin on the hop, and it goes down as likely a base hit for Phillips. Back-to-back leadoff men reaching for Whitewater. Again, a ball hit the other way. May have hit the base. Tough to tell if it hopped over it or just had weird spin. Either way, the 4th hit of the day for Wisconsin Whitewater. A rude welcome to third base for Michael Lustina. This is chopped. Aldman throws sidearm. Did he keep his foot on the bag? Yes, he did. Champness somehow secures the throw while falling over and keeps his foot on the bag for out number 1. A chopper to Aldman there. The high chopper. Wow, what a play by Cam Champness, able to get Jensen there with his first at-bat of the year. Ending in the force out. They check on him at first, able to get back safely. Jackson Spring now up to bat. Spring, a .357 hitter last season and 25 appearances, 13 starts. Takes a strike, 0-1. So the 1-6 force out, the only out of the inning so far. Runner on first is Jensen. They check on him again. Back safely. Allman ahead, 0-1. He's thrown a couple of times to first in this inning. Swing and a miss there. Quickly 0-2 on Spring. Wyatt Jensen did not attempt a stolen base last season. We'll see if that changes here on an 0-2 pitch. 1 down in the inning. Maybe trying to get out of the double play. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Throw back to first. Not in time. But still the second out of the inning for Carter Aldman. Gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. And it will flip the lineup over. Aaron Holland, the catcher who walked in his first plate appearance of the night, wound up scoring a run as well. Again, last year's leader in hits nationally fouls one into the screen right below where I am. Allman starting to find a little bit of a groove, has had some trouble in the early innings. Allowed the walk and the base hit that both ended up scoring in the first frame. Throw to first again, not in time again. The righty-righty matchup here in the top of the second. Whitewater with the 2-1 lead over Trinity. Throw to first again, as they really do not want Jensen standing over there. The 0-1. Called for a strike. Now Holland down 0-2. Allman trying to get out of the second. 2 down in the inning. Breaking ball misses. Holland taking all the way there. Trying to bring this inning to a close. Allman throws to first again. This time Baker can't quite secure it. Brings up a 1-2. Runner goes. Throw from Riding is in time, and they got him. Matthias Riding guns him down, as Jensen was trying to steal after all. On a breaking ball, too. Perfect throw. As that is how the inning ends. We'll head to the bottom of the second in San Antonio. Whitewater with the 2-1 lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. A College World Series rematch between Whitewater and Trinity. The Warhawks with the 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. And Michael Lustina set to lead off the inning for Trinity. First plate appearance of the season for Lustina, who finished last season quite strong. First pitch from Malco outside. Ball 1. Lustina, a .291 hitter last season. He started his year 3 for 28 at the plate. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Ended the year 15 for 41. He hit .366 since the month of April. And ultimately one of the most important hits of the year for Trinity. A home run against McMurray, a 3-run shot that basically sent them to the College World Series after that game was in some doubt. Extended the lead to 10-4, and that would be the final of Game 2. Swing and a miss for Lustina. Count 2-2. Talking to Coach Scannell, says he also loves the work he's done with his bat this offseason. Trying to build on the strong end to last year. Takes a pitch outside, working the count well. Gets it to 3-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and that's strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Brady Malco. And there's 1 down in the inning. Using that breaking ball once again, and it brings up Kalfani Coney. Starting at second base today. Checks his swing, but it's a called strike. Coney, 30 appearances last season, a .271 hitter. Had 6 games with 2+ hits, and early to mid-April was his hottest stretch of the year, trying to recapture some of that. Strike called, inside edge. Count 0-2. Unfortunately for Coney, it was a rough end of the year. 1 for his last 22 at the plate. But he lines this one into left field for his first hit of the season. A seeing eye ground ball, and it's the 3rd hit of the game for Trinity. First of this inning. Able to get a hold of that inside pitch. And it brings up Cam Champness, his partner in the middle infield. Champness getting the start today on opening day. The senior out of Katy, Texas, 35 appearances, a .322 average. Went 3 for 4 with an RBI against Whitewater in the College World Series. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. So a team that he likes facing. Tigers only scoring 3 runs in that game. Drove in one of them at 3 hits. The 0-1. Champness gets down a bunt, and it's a good one right to Malco, who takes the out at first. And the sacrifice is complete. Coney heads to second. So the Tigers deciding that they would rather have a runner on second with 2 down than let Champness swing the bat, at least in this situation. And it'll bring up Matthias Riding. Riding filling some big shoes this season, replacing Nick Lazera, the junior. Started 10 games, played in 25. Last year, they valued his defense so much, they brought him in at the end of games, viewed him almost as a closer from the catching position. Trying to get the bat going this year, though. Strike called. Riding hit .162 last season, but already an early vote of confidence from head coach Tim Scannell, electing to bunt Champness. Trusting Riding with the run on second, 2 down in the inning. The 0-1. Takes a pitch inside, and the count evens up at 1 apiece. Tigers looking to even this game early, 2-1, right now at least. The 1-1 pitch. Hit in the air, sky high to left. Phillips under it, and a can of corn ends the inning. Trinity gets a base runner in the form of Cal Coney, but can't bring him in. It remains 2-1 Whitewater. We'll head to the 3rd on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Trinity trailing Wisconsin Whitewater 2-1. And the top of the Warhawks order up to bat, and Aaron Holland gets to redo his at-bat after Tigers nabbed a base runner. First pitch from Aldman, inside, ball one. Mentioned how Aldman was unable to get out of the first inning in his only other career start. Now into the third. Allowed 2 runs so far. Struck out multiple batters. Breaking ball misses low. And it's 2-0. Aldman so far with 3 strikeouts, his first trip through the lineup. The 2-0. Chopper to short. Champness fields it and throws in time. As Cam Champness has had a dazzling defensive night so far, just through 3 innings. This one, the most routine play he's seen all day, the chopper. Of course, had that play where he got the out on second. Bit of an errant throw from Aldman. Able to keep his foot on the bag, and then the diving stop in the first inning. Likely saved a run. Now Aldman deals with Andy Thies. Takes strike 1. The 0-1. It's outside 1-1. Thies 1 for 1 in this game with a base hit. Trying to replicate what he did in that first inning. This is hit the other way, but out of play onto the roof of the batting cages in left. Slowly getting darker here in San Antonio. A great weather day, 80 degrees. A nice change of pace from last year's opening day where it was misting the entire game. The 1-2. Close pitch, doesn't get the call. Trinity dugout wanted it. Dave Smith stepping out asking where it was. Now the 2-2. Misses low and the count runs full. A lot of full counts on both sides so far in this one. 2 starting pitchers that aren't used to that role. Brady Malco mentioned it's 16 appearances, 15 out of the pen. And Altman, this is first action since an elbow injury last year. Breaking ball low and inside, and it's ball 4. Second walk of the game allowed by Aldman. And this one comes with 1 out. Dealing with the heart of the Warhawks order. Danny Hopper, the third baseman. Up to bat. Mentioned he hit nearly 380 last year. Went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs in the World Series game against Trinity. 1 down in the inning. Takes an early strike. Hopper 0 for 1 in this game was that nice diving play by Champness at short to get the force out. Inside part of the plate, strike 2. One down in the inning. Runner on first is Thies. Kind of an inside-out swing and a blooper into right field, and it's fair. Runner heads to third. Throw there, not in time. And kind of a dunking ball just over the infield off the bat of Hopper. 2 aboard for Wisconsin Whitewater. Goes down as their 7th hit of the game already. Just that inside-out swing, that ball right on the hands, and sometimes that's baseball. You get them how you can. Sets up runners at the corners. Hopper on first, Thies on third. Only 1 down in the inning, and now going against Hongkamp. 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Sends a chopper. Lustina fields it, but in foul territory. So it goes down as an eventful strike 1. Cade Hongkamp one of many Wisconsin Whitewater players from Wisconsin. Recruit so well in their own state, such a great baseball state. The Midwest area as a whole, throw to first, not in time. As they check on Hopper. Hopper with 9 stolen bases last season, was caught once. Strike called. Honkamp maybe thought it was a bit low. Aldman in an 0-2 count. Now a quick throw to first, but Hopper able to dive back safe in plenty of time. Still only 1 down in the inning. Pitch outside. The writing started to set up there. First ball of this count, and it's 1-2. Whitewater trying to add on to their 2-1 advantage. Scored 2 in the first inning. Now in the third. Out hitting Trinity 7-4. Strike 3 called. Aldman gets him looking. And 2 down in the inning for Trinity. See where this pitch was on the replay. Probably thought it was a little bit low. Brings up the DH, Leighton Bowers. The transfer who had the 2 RBI double in his first plate appearance. 1 for 1 in this game. Pitch misses low, Writing able to nicely secure that with his glove. Could have easily gone to the backstop. Batting 1,000, not a bad way to start your Wisconsin Whitewater career. 2 RBI on top of that. This one well outside. 86 out of the hand of Aldman. Nice crowd in attendance for this game, both in support of Trinity and Wisconsin Whitewater. Fan base that has traveled well. Probably glad to get out of the snow. Strike called, inside edge. Probably didn't have to do a lot of convincing to get the parents to come down here. Says Texas in February compared to Wisconsin? Yep, sign me up. Throw to first, a little low. And back safely once again as Aldman continues to try and manage this run game of Wisconsin Whitewater. Not a team that stole bases at an incredibly high rate, 47th in the country last year. Compared to where they were in a lot of other offensive categories, that's nothing. Big swing and a miss. Runner goes, throw, gets into center field, and a run will score. Champness not quite at second base, riding through over there to try and get Honkamp, who did run. A big swing and a miss, and the throw to first. Actually a good throw. Champness just couldn't quite pick it. He's made so many good plays already in this game. That one just couldn't squeeze. Pitch outside. Count 2-2. Now a runner on second. Whitewater with a 3-1 lead. As that was Thies who came around to score. Hit in the air, sky high, but out of play. Nobody can touch that. So Hopper gets the stolen base, going from first to second. Nearly caught, just couldn't be squeezed by Champness and just dribbled off his glove into shallow center field. That's what allowed Thies to score. 3-1 Whitewater. Pitch way outside. And on the full count, that will send Bowers to first base. Second time he's reached today. Set up the middle of this order. Center fielder Dominic McVeigh. And it'll spark a meeting from catcher Matthias Writing. They'll meet just in front of the mound. Whitewater's such a prolific program offensively. They have been for so many years. They've won their 3rd national championship, all of them under John Vodenlich. 2 of those national championships coming after they finished second place the year before. Coach Vodenlich telling me that his team wanted to throw away the second place trophy last year, wanted nothing to do with it. And were motivated from day one to try and get the first place one, which they ultimately did. Two down in the inning. McVeigh ready to see his first pitch. Runners on first and second for the Warhawks. Pitch dropped by Writing, but a strike called anyways. McVeigh 0 for 1 today. He struck out the first time he saw Oddman. That's how the first inning ended. The 0-1 from Aldman. Strike called. Pitch about to be thrown is an 0-2 pitch. Aldman's done a good job getting ahead for most of today. Just got to finish him. The 0-2. Now a back pick and nowhere near in time. Hopper getting back safely pretty easily. Now the 0-2. Lined the other way, but foul into the Whitewater bullpen. Not a lot of foul ground out there in right field. The bullpen jutting out right against that foul line, basically. So we'll do this 0-2 pitch again. McVeigh waiting for it. Fouls this one onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the moments where I'm beginning to wonder if I miscounted when I said that a ball hopped 7 times. It was cold, so it's possible, but 7 feels like a lot. Like when I have yet to see one go over 5 in quite some time. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Aldman ends the inning with a strikeout, gives up a run though. Whitewater extending its lead 3-1 here in San Antonio. Welcome back to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. The defending national champions with the 3-1 lead. Going against a team they beat on the way there. It was a 3-6 matchup in terms of the seeding. Whitewater being the 3 seed in that tournament. They look like the 1 seed by the end of it. An absolute buzzsaw when it was all said and done. Caleb Woodward coming up to the plate for the second time today. Grounded out in his first appearance, 0 for 1. Fouls that out of play towards the track behind the ballpark. Caleb Woodward, a guy who kind of came out of nowhere 2 years ago as a first year. This pitch gets all the way to the backstop and bounces back. Get your first view if you're watching a game here for the first time of that brick backstop combined with the turf, how quickly that ball can get back to the catcher. Something to think about when you see guys on the bases. The 1-1. Fouled off the end of the bat, and the count 1-2. Woodward, a guy who just came out of nowhere in his first year. Had a 3-hit game in his first ever start, and he never looked back. Was a regular outfielder ever from that point on 2 years ago. Now in a 1-2 count. Outside. Count evens at 2-2. been the regular center fielder for the last several years now. Fouled off, stays alive. Of course, Jack Peterson was here in Woodward's first year, and he had center field locked down for a number of years. Started out on the corners, eventually showed how good he was in center. I was talking with one of our SIDs on the field, saying, what a guy to have in center field if you're a pitcher. Takes ball 3 as the count runs full. Just knowing that you can go out there and force as many fly balls as you want. Looking for his first hit of the season. Or maybe a walk, a 3-2 pitch. Fouled off, stays alive. Woodward playing the role of the leadoff hitter tonight, doing a good job working this pitch count right now. Mentioned that Malco had only thrown 5 innings in a game once last season in 16 tries. Wasn't his job last year, such a stacked starting rotation. The issue is none of them are here anymore. That's strike 3. Ball is dropped and Holland has to throw the first to finish the job, does so no problem. Woodward goes down looking. Just grabbed the corner, the changeup out of the hand of Malco. The righty so effective with that pitch so far today. 1 down in the inning. Callan Singhania comes up to the plate. Takes a breaking ball low. Singhania 0 for 1 with a strikeout. This is roped into center field, but not deep enough. And the catch is made by McVeigh, who drifts back for out number 2. So a quick 2 outs for Brady Malco, and now faces Will Baker. Baker, a walk the last time he was up. Wound up scoring the only run of the day for Trinity to this point. 2 down, nobody on. Trinity with 5 hits so far in this game. Fouled off. Now an 0-1 pitch. Misses. Evens the count at 1-1. Looking at my score sheet, I actually don't think they have 5 hits. Looks like the scoreboard might be off. 2 hits is what I have. 2 base hits. Baker looking for the third. Big swing and a miss. Waves at that pitch, and it's 1-2. Pitch from Malco, 1-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Malco works a scoreless third, striking out 2 in the frame. We'll head to the 4th in San Antonio, 3-1, Whitewater with the lead. Welcome back to opening day here in San Antonio, Texas. Wisconsin Whitewater leads Trinity 3-1. Carter Aldman still on the mound for his fourth inning of work as Nelson Phillips comes up to the plate. Phillips 1 for 1 with a base hit today. Pitch inside. 1-0. Phillips, as we mentioned earlier, a transfer. Lines that one just over the Tiger dugout into the screen. Now 1-1. The only switch hitter in the starting lineup for either side. Of course, Tiger fans very familiar with Nick Lazera, the switch hitter for so many years here. Pitch into the dirt. 2-1. There is some action in the Trinity bullpen, so we'll see how long the leash is for Aldman. Talking to head coach Tim Scannell before the game, said they were seeing him as kind of an opener, only wanted really 2 innings out of him. This is roped into left center field, and it finds the gap, rolling all the way to the wall. Phillips into second easily, a stand-up, no-out double for the Warhawks. It's a nice opposite field swing, something that Whitewater does so well. Something to think about with these northern schools is they're in the cage so much, as I mentioned earlier, because there's so much snow. Can't really play baseball in February in Wisconsin. They work in the cage so much. John Vodelich saying work in the cage more than most teams. Pitch inside. Wyatt Jensen up to the plate. Reached on a force out in the second inning. Pitch low and Writing able to keep it in front of him. Aldman quickly falling behind here. Now 2-0 count, and Dave Smith will come out. And that should do it for Carter Aldman. Gets into the fourth inning on opening day, his first start in over a year. Leaves allowing 3 runs and in charge of the runner on second right now. We'll take a short break on Tiger Network. Pitching change in San Antonio. Welcome back to South Central Texas as we have a new arm on the mound for Trinity. It's John McGowan. the junior from Bethesda, Maryland. 3 appearances last season, 2.2 innings pitched, ERA of 6.75. An opportunity to start a new season here on opening day. A sidearm thrower comes into a 2-0 count and starts with strike 1. Going against Wyatt Jessen, and that's got to be difficult on him, seeing a change in arm slot like that. Mid at bat, nonetheless. Ground ball through the hole into center field. Runner comes around third and will score. 4-1 Whitewater. And that run will go to Carter Aldman. The RBI single from Wyatt Jessen. As Nelson Phillips got the green light, was waved around to score. Hesitated around third base for a second, but would score pretty easily. Warhawks taking their largest lead of the night, 4-1. Bunt attempt, and now they try the back pick at first. And both of those not going anywhere. Jackson Spring, the sophomore, for his second plate appearance of the day. Struck out against Aldman, whose line is now closed. Pitches 3 innings, allows 4 runs. McGowan tries to get the runner at first, and Jensen, again to no avail. Finding himself behind 2-0. Spring waiting for the pitch. Lines it the other way towards the Whitewater dugout and foul. Back-to-back hits to start the inning for Wisconsin Whitewater. A double and a single. One of them off Carter Aldman, the other off John McGowan, who enters this game now working with nobody out and a runner on first. Bunt attempt pulled back. And it goes down to strike 2. Called strike on that last pitch. Warhawks trying to do what they can to extend the lead. Now the 2-2. We'll see if Spring still bunts. Runner goes instead. Pitch a little low. Throw to second. Close, but not in time. See how close that was on the replay. Writing has already gunned down somebody today. Just another perfect throw. The tag on the heel. Oh, that's close. Instead, it's a chopper to short. Champness throws to first in time. And they get Spring. Out number 1 of this inning. And that likely would have been a double play had they not stolen that base. Order will flip over. Aaron Holland bats from the right-handed side. Takes a pitch low and inside. Holland 0 for 1. He has walked. Walked to lead off the game. The leadoff hitter has reached base once today. Strike called. Count even at 1-1. Whitewater extending their lead 4-1 in this frame. Tigers trying to keep it there. Big swing and a miss from Holland. Swinging for the trees after the fence on that one. 1-2. McGowan, the sidearm, trying to find the second out of the inning. Line drive, high in the air, into right, and the catch is made. Runner tags. The throw for Singhania is a good one, just not in time. As Jensen heads to third base with 2 down in the inning. Brings up Andy Thies, who's reached base in both of his plate appearances. Base hit and a walk so far today. Thies, one of the regulars last season for Whitewater. Had 2 walks, 2 RBIs, and a triple against Trinity in that College World Series game. Takes a ball outside, 1-0. Strike called. Runner waits on third, and Jensen would represent the 5th Whitewater run. High fly ball out to left field. Ranging over is Jones, sliding it. He can't make the catch. It's a fair ball. The run comes across to score, and it's 5-1 Whitewater. We'll see how they score that. Thies waiting on second. You see the replay, the sliding attempt. Just couldn't make the grab. As of now, they do score that a hit, the 7th hit of the game for Wisconsin Whitewater. Goes down as an RBI double for Andy Thies. Danny Hopper, a base hit in his last plate appearance. Hopper 1 for 2 today. You wonder how much the stadium lights played a role in Nick Jones not being able to catch that ball. There is a light right above the end of the Tigers' dugout. Could have been right in his eyes there. Maybe part of why that was scored a base hit. Goes down as an RBI double. Writing a nice job to keep that pitch in front of him. Misses in the dirt and evens the count at 1-1. So Whitewater offense that has scored a lot of runs last year. First in average, first in slugging, first in home runs, first in walks. All those in their conference nationally, first in average, first in slug, first in on-base percentage, first in home runs, first in doubles. Led the country in a lot of categories last season. 1-2 pitch fouled off into the screen right in front of me, and it'll stay that way. Hopper trying to find his way on for the second time in 2 innings. Warhawks up 5-1. The 1-2. Lined to right, but Coney with the jumping catch on the soft liner to end the inning. Not before the Warhawks score twice. They have the 5-1 lead. We'll take a break on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University in the Alamo City. Nick Jones will lead off the inning for the Tigers. Will all of a sudden find themselves down by 4. Brady Malco still on the mound for Whitewater. Swinging him foul ball off the bat of Jones. Jones 1 for 1 with the RBI single, represents the only run of the game so far for Trinity, who have been held to 2 hits so far. Swing and a miss. Count quickly 0-2. Tigers need to start stringing some hits together if they want to get back into this game. Pitch into the dirt. 1-2. Of course, Jones involved in that play in left field, just hit the base of his glove. Looked like he couldn't see it out there, made the diving attempt. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is the 3rd batter that Brady Malco has struck out in his last 4 tries. See what he brought here. Some kind of breaking ball on the top end of the zone, and Will Dixon steps into the batter's box. A transfer ready to go, 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game. And takes strike 1. Dixon DHing today in his Tiger debut. Looking for his first career hit with Trinity. That one way outside and high. Holland barely able to catch that from the crouch. Whitewater out hitting Trinity 7-2 right now. Tigers trying to catch up. That one fouled. The inside out swing just skips off the top of the netting behind Dixon. The 1-2. High, and it misses. Evens the count at 2-2. It's a Tigers team that ended last season, or at least went into the College World Series last year, winning 20 of 21, as this is roped into shallow center field, but eventually it falls right for McVeigh to make the catch for out number 1, or excuse me, 2. Brady Malco continues to mow him down, and he faces Michael Lustina. 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. Mentioned the home run that he had in Game 2 of the Super Regional that basically punched the Tigers' ticket to the College World Series. They ended up falling to Whitewater and then losing to Rowan, dropping both games. Pitch inside, misses, 1-0. Tigers won 20 of their last 21 games heading into the College World Series. That one loss to ETBU in the regional on the road. Strike called 1-1. Included a 17-game win streak, which began in early April. This team got on an absolute heater towards the end of the year. Pitch fouled into the screen, 1-2. Mentioned the numbers for Lustina in that stretch as well, a .366 hitter, a lot of that overlapping with the Tigers' win streak. 1-2 in the dirt. Malco trying to finish a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. The 2-2 in the dirt gets away. And Lustina has worked the count full. Malco so far has 6 strikeouts in his outing. Trying to get into the 5th inning. The 3-2. High, ball 4. And the first base runner since the 2nd inning for Trinity has reached with 2 down. First time Michael Lustina reaches in the season. And Cal Coney now due up. Pitching coach for Whitewater coming onto the field. See if this is a chat or a change. The entire infield coming in with them. And it looks like just a chat. Nobody ready for Whitewater at the current moment. Malco so far with 6 strikeouts. He's only allowed 1 earned run. Only 2 hits so far. Mentioned that this is a guy who in 16 appearances last year only had 1 start and only threw 5 innings 1 time. That was not in the start. Not a lot of experience in this role, but there's a reason why Coach Vodenlich trusted him with the opening day nod. That impressive 1.78 ERA so far holding up here in San Antonio. He'll go against Cal Coney with 2 down in the inning. Coney has one of the Tigers' 2 hits in this game. 1 for 1 today with a base hit. Tigers also looking for their first extra base hit of the season. Works with Lustina on first. Pitch inside and it nails him. Coney throws the bat, fired up to be hit. 2 on with 2 down for Trinity. First hit by pitch for either team in this game. See how far inside this one got. It's a pretty good place to get hit, all things considering, though that was 86 miles per hour. We know that Malco can throw up to 91. That's what we've seen today. It sets up Cam Champness with an opportunity with 2 down in the inning. Runner on second is Lustina. The runner on first is Coney. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch of the at-bat. Tigers trying to get their offense going. The only run coming in the bottom of the first, an RBI single from Nick Jones. That came with 2 down in the inning. Looked similar to this one, like it would be an empty frame for the Tigers. The 0-1. Low and outside. Count even. Champness in his last plate appearance, a sacrifice bunt. Over a 300 hitter last year in his junior season. Swinging a foul tip into the catcher's mitt. 1-2, and Malco 1 strike away from leaving 2 stranded. Trying to get out of the 4th inning. The 1-2 to Champness. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Malco uses the breaking ball to get out of the jam, leaves 2 Tigers stranded as we head to the 5th in San Antonio. The 7th strikeout of the day for Brady Malco. Welcome back to the Alamo City. John McGowan back on the mound for the Tigers. In his 2nd inning of work, Whitewater with the 5-1 lead here in San Antonio. And the first baseman, Cade Honkamp, 0 for 2 today. He's struck out both times, trying to change that, avoid the dreaded hat trick. Whitewater trying to extend its lead here in the 5th, nearly halfway through this one on opening night. Strike called out of the hand of McGowan. McGowan charged with one of the 2 runs in that last inning. Chopper to third. Lustina fields it and throws in time. Michael Lustina, who had a rough welcome to third base. The only other time he got a ball. A lot of English on that one. Spin, couldn't quite field it. This one does so very nicely. It brings up the designated hitter Bowers. 1 for 1 today. The 2 RBI double that gave Whitewater its 2-0 lead at the time. He's also walked. Gets out of the way of an inside pitch. Leighton Bowers, one of 12 transfers for Wisconsin Whitewater. Trying to reload this thing, get back to where they were last year. Now ahead 2-0 after that last pitch. There's a group of guys with Wisconsin Whitewater that had been together for the prior 3 seasons. Strike called, 2-1. And a lot of them graduating together, leaving their head coach, John Vodenlich, to pick up the pieces as he's done many times before and put Wisconsin Whitewater back into a championship cycle. The last pitch misses, 3-1. Bowers takes ball 4. And it's a 1-out walk for the Warhawks. Second walk of the night for Bowers. As now Dominic McVeigh, the center fielder, comes up for the 3rd time today. He struck out twice. Both of those were against Carter Aldman, working against John McGowan for the first time today. Breaking ball misses outside. It's a Whitewater team that last season started the year 18-0. Scored 10-plus runs in 13 of those games. So just a dominant start for the Warhawks last year. This one just barely fouled down the first base line. McVeigh going the other way. Brings the count to 1-1. That stretch for Wisconsin Whitewater to start last season, kind of reminiscent of how they would end the season, averaging 15 runs per game in that College World Series. 7 runs against Trinity, their lowest output of the entire World Series. McGowan checks on the runner at first as Bowers dives back safely. After that game against Trinity, Wisconsin Whitewater outscored their opponents by a combined 68-15. One of the most dominant finishes to a season we've seen in Division III baseball. This is fouled sharply into the screen. Count at 1-2. To recap this game, for those of you who are just joining us, Wisconsin Whitewater opened with 2 runs in the top of the first. Tigers answered with their only run of the day so far. Since then, 3 unanswered for the Warhawks. All 3 of them coming in the last 2 frames. Trying to add on now. Pitch inside. And it hits McVeigh, who reaches base for the first time today. So the first hit by pitch handed out by Trinity. And we'll see it again. There's the changeup. Not the worst pitch to be hit with, only 72 miles per hour. Strike called. Nelson Phillips up to bat for the 3rd time today. 2 for 2 in this game. A single and a double. Came around to score the last time he got on. Some kind of delay on the field. McGowan stepping off. A 1 pitch to Phillips incoming. Runners on first and second for Whitewater. The last two have reached in the form of Bowers and McVeigh on second and first, respectively. Still some kind of on-field delay. Home plate umpire not quite ready. And now it looks like we're good to go. Still only one down in the inning. The 0-1 pitch to Phillips. Misses outside. Ground ball could be two. Coney flips to Champness at short. Throw to first is not in time. Runner comes home though, and the throw is not in time. Elite base running, going from second to home on what could have been a double play. Phillips able to beat it out, and the run scores. See the runner on the left part of your screen just rounds third there. And the throw from Baker to Writing, just on a bounce, not in time. A headsy play all the way around. Try and get Phillips on the back pick, unable to do so. That was Bowers who came all the way around to score. Not something you expect out of a designated hitter especially. Wyatt Jensen, 1 for 2 today, has a single. Pitch outside, 2-0 from McGowan as Whitewater has scored their 6th run of the game here in this inning. Now 2 down in the frame, runner on first. Outside again, breaking ball, not finding the zone. 3-0. McGowan trying to end his 2nd inning of work. Strike called. Brings the count to 3-1. Dealing with the bottom of the order here, and Jensen, the 9-hole hitter, Spring on deck. Runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw gets into right field. Champness able to recover in time. Jensen not able to take third. Goes down as another stolen base for Whitewater. Maybe the hit and run on that play. Coney just unable to reel it in with his glove. Matthias Writing has made good throw after good throw from behind the dish. Though that one may have been a little late. Pitch outside, ball 4 in the 2nd walk of the inning, handed out by John McGowan. Three of the last 4 Warhawks have all reached. And now Dave Smith will come out to make a change. Another pitching change in San Antonio. Warhawks with the 6-1 lead on opening night. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. New arm into the game for the Tigers is Caden Wells, making his Trinity debut. The sophomore from League City, Texas, comes into a situation with runners on first and second for Whitewater. First pitch called strike to Jackson Spring. Spring 0-for-2 with a strikeout and a ground out today. Warhawks trying to pull away and maybe put this game away early in the top of the fifth. Have scored in their last 3 innings. Breaking ball finds the zone, strike 2. And Wells in his season and career debut with Trinity, already ahead 0-2. Pitch way off there. First ball of the at-bat, 1-2. Dominic McVeigh waiting on second. Wyatt Jensen waits on first. Strike 3 called on the outside edge. So Caden Wells, 1 batter, 1 strikeout to end the fifth. So we'll head to the bottom of the frame next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. The bottom of the order to start things out for Trinity. Matthias Writing 0-for-1 today. Facing Brady Malco, who remains on the mound into the 5th inning. With 7 strikeouts to his name so far. An impressive season debut for him. Trying to continue it into the 5th. Taps off the bat of Writing, foul. Mentioned all the departures for Wisconsin Whitewater last season. Cade Hansen, Logan Eisenbarth, Max Husbo all had an ERA below 3.5, or their main 3 in the starting rotation. All departed after last season's championship run. Writing out in front of that pitch. Now 0-2. So an opportunity for a guy like Brady Malco, who did so well out of the pen last year, to take over in a starting role. And so far taking it and running with it. Writing checks his swing, appeal, and he did not go around. Trinity Tower rings into the distance. 7:45 local time at a 6 p.m. first pitch. Just over halfway through this one in San Antonio. Whitewater with the 6-1 lead. Pitch from Malco misses. 2-2. Trying to finish Writing. Outside, and that gets away. Count runs full. Matthias Writing, who hit 162 last year, talking to the coaching staff about him and his bat, said he's definitely not going to do that this year. He's gotten a lot better offensively. They already loved what he brought defensively, but able to bring the other side of that, they think, this year. Pitch rides inside, and it's ball 4. So Matthias Writing reaches base for the first time this year. A leadoff walk for the Tigers. A team desperately in need of base runners. And that will prompt a visit. This time it looks like head coach John Vodenlich coming out. See if this is just a chat or a change. The whole infield and the catcher Holland once again huddled around. And so far it's a lot of talking and not a lot of substitutions. Looks like Brady Malco is going to get the rest of this inning. Again, mentioned it a couple of times earlier. Only pitched 5 innings one time all of last year. A new situation being a starting pitcher for him, but something he seems very comfortable doing so far. He'll now have to work around the leadoff walk to the 9-hitter Writing as the lineup will flip over for Trinity. Caleb Woodward. Somebody Malco has had success against so far. These top 2 batters going a combined 0 for 4. Woodward 0 for 2 with a strikeout in there. Thought about bunting, and now they try to pick it first. It was close. The ball eventually dropped by Honkamp, but the timing on that, the throw from Holland, definitely soon enough. As you see where Writing was on the base paths when this was thrown, a good throw definitely gets him. Writing now runs. Throw to second from Holland. Is it in time? Yes, it is. And just as soon as Trinity gets a base runner, it is erased by the arm of Aaron Holland. This is a good throw. Nabs Writing. Really close play. Closer than it looked live. Matthias Writing, who did not attempt a stolen base all of last season. Caught stealing there, and it's the first out of the inning. Woodward takes a strike. Count 2-1. As both teams have caught a runner in this game now. Pitch misses low and inside. Tigers trying to be aggressive. They need 5 runs somewhere in this game. The 3-1 to Woodward. Drives one into center field. McVeigh camps under it and makes the catch. Barely had to move. Out number 2. Now Callan Singhania steps into the batter's box. 0 for 2 today, getting the opportunity to hit second in this lineup. But he will not get his chance quite yet. That will be the day for Brady Malco. So he faces Woodward, and now his day is done. Winds up striking out 7 Trinity Tigers through 4 2/3. As that'll be his game. We will step away in San Antonio. Whitewater with the 6-1 lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. And the new arm into the game is Benji Tucker, native of Georgia, makes his debut with Wisconsin Whitewater. So he'll face Callan Singhania with 2 down in the 5th. First pitch misses for ball 1. The line is closed on Brady Malco, the starter in this game for Whitewater. 4.2 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, only the 1 earned run. Second pitch misses. 2-0. Singhania 0 for 2 in this game, both of those against Malco. Now facing a different arm, still a righty. Pitch high and some command issues coming out of the gate for Tucker. Falls behind 3-0. See if he can avoid the 2-out walk on this pitch. He can, strike 1. 88 miles per hour that time. Swing and a miss. And the count runs full with 2 outs. Tigers' only run of the day scored with 2 outs. Singhania trying to reach to make something happen. Lines one the other way into right field. It's a base hit. Takes a large turn around first base, but eventually settles there for a 2-out single. Only the 3rd hit of the day for Trinity, goes down as the first one since the 2nd inning. Inside out swing, nicely done the other way. Right in between 1st and 2nd. And now Will Baker coming up to the plate. Struck out the last time he was up, but has walked in this game. 0 for 1 today. Takes a strike. The outs in this game. Matthias Riding caught stealing after he had a leadoff walk. And Caleb Woodward flew out to center field. And now Singhania waits on first base after his base hit. Pitch to Baker. Here's a chopper. Into the glove. Tucker with the flip to first and a nice defensive play to get the 3rd out of the inning. Whitewater doing it defensively all across the diamond, even on the mound. It'll take us to the 6th inning in San Antonio. The Champs with the 6-1 lead. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Caden Wells back on the mound for the Tigers, and he faces the top of this Warhawks lineup in Aaron Holland. First pitch, strike 1. Holland 0 for 2 in this game. has reached by way of a walk, but that's it. Guy who led the nation in hits last season. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Whitewater team coming off of a year where they won the national championship, went 49-6. Only one of those games away from their home ballpark. This is hit in the air. Right field, Singhania coming in, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So a quick 2 outs in the debut of Caden Wells. Gets the first one in this inning. Andy Thies up to bat. Thies, perfect so far in this game. 2 for 2, a double and a single. He's also walked. Breaking ball finds the zone for strike 1 out of the hand of Wells. Whitewater went 30-1 on the road last season. 17-1 on true road games, but 13-0 in neutral site games. Swing and a miss. As Thies couldn't connect on that one. Don't know the exact road numbers for Whitewater the season before, but I can promise you it's at least 2 because they split the series here in San Antonio 2 years ago. A 4-game set just like this one will be. They won the first 2 and dropped the second 2. Pitch high out of the hand of Wells. Still in a 2-strike count, trying to finish it. This is driven in the air to shallow center. The ball just kind of died right in front of Woodward, who makes the catch. Looked like it was going to carry a lot further than that. Either way, 2 down in the inning. Danny Hopper coming up to the plate. Hopper trying to reach with 2 down in the inning. Strike 1 called. Just been informed that the 2024 team lost 8 road games. So a significant improvement, only losing 1 the following year. Fouled off out of play. Count now 0-2. Talking to Coach Vodenlich about that, says that's all about maturity. One of the most mature groups he's ever coached. And now over 20 years of coaching Wisconsin Whitewater. It's led them to 3 national championships, runner-up twice. Pitch outside. Those 2 runner-up years, 04 and 24. The years before they eventually won the World Series. Hit in the air, foul territory. Baker under it, and he makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Wells, as Whitewater has been held scoreless for the first time since the 2nd inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, and San Antonio Warhawks with the 6-1 lead.
Josh, you having a good time right now?
Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Whitewater with the 6-1 lead, and Nick Jones in the batter's box has to get out of the way of a pitch inside. Jones, 1 of 2 in this game. The base hit in the first inning, the strikeout the time after that. Cuts and misses. 1-1. Jones trying to get the inning off to a better start for Trinity, who has yet to have their leadoff man aboard, except for when Matthias Riding reached in the last frame. Went around on that pitch, 1-2. It's the only time the Tigers have had the leadoff man aboard in an inning. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses out of the hand of Tucker, who finished the last frame with a nice defensive play. Just was able to walk the ball, flip it to his first baseman after making the snag on Will Baker. Jones hits this one high into foul territory. Looks like it will not be playable as it falls into the Whitewater bullpen. Tigers trying to get something going offensively. Had their third hit of the game in the last frame. Had 2 aboard, one of them caught stealing. Was their most successful offensive frame in a little bit. Had the walk and the hit by pitch in the 4th. Both of those coming with 2 outs. When they've had guys on, it's been 2 outs. Not a lot of chances to bring him in. Pitch just misses to Jones. 88 miles per hour out of the hand of Tucker. Count runs full. Inside, and that hits him. And once again, the bat flip and a couple claps to his dugout. Trinity happy to get on any way they can. A leadoff hit by pitch. See it there, just catches him on the arm. 88 into the near elbow area does not feel good. But it gives an opportunity for Will Dixon in his 3rd plate appearance as a Trinity Tiger. 0 for 2. He's flown out and he's struck out in this one so far. The 5-hole hitter works with nobody out and 1 on. Pitch inside. Count 1-0 early. See how many more arms we see out of Whitewater. Coach Vodenlich saying that he wants to see as many as he can just to get a look at them. They don't play their next series after this until March. Ground ball could be 2. Throw to second in time. Throw to first. And it's a double play. 6-4-3 on the twin killing. And now all of a sudden, where there was an offensive opportunity for Trinity, nobody on and 2 down, just like it has been in so many of the innings before. See if he beat it. Close play. Either way, the double play. Check swing, but a strike called to Michael Lustina. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this one. Walked the last time he was up. Pitch high, 1-1. Trying to find something, anything going offensively. Have had the leadoff runner reach in the last 2 consecutive innings. Lustina takes a strike, 1-2. Both of them erased. One caught stealing, the other erased with the double play just a little bit ago. Whitewater, meanwhile, out hitting Trinity by the final score of their World Series matchup, 7-3. High fly ball into the San Antonio night. Center fielder McVeigh ranges over to his right and makes the catch. That will finish the inning. Ends up being a 1-2-3 inning for Tucker as he heads back to the dugout protecting Whitewater's 5-run lead. To the 7th we go in San Antonio. We're back here in San Antonio. Whitewater, the defending national champions, with the 6-1 lead. Tigers trying to hold the deficit as Wells is back on the mound. The sophomore making his Trinity debut faces the first baseman, Cade Honkamp. Honkamp 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts. Grounds one sharply to short. Champness able to pick it on 2 hops and throw to first in time. Quick out number 1. Here in the 7th inning, Wells has already thrown an inning and a third before this and has been so far good and efficient. This is going to be a tough pitching day for Trinity. We knew that coming in. Carter Aldman thrusted into opening day starter duty as we got some unfortunate injury news over the past couple of weeks. A couple of transfer arms that were supposed to play a big role for Trinity this year. One of them, Matt Azortigan, chance he comes back throughout the year. Jack Brady, the other one, unavailable today. Pitch in the dirt. Either one of those guys probably could have started this game, but neither of them available, at least for today. So Trinity thrown into an unexpected bullpen game to open their season. Here in the 7th, they find themselves down 5 runs. This is fouled well out of play and into the street behind the ballpark. Leighton Bowers in a 1-2 count. He's reached all 3 times. Pitch misses high, 66 miles per hour out of the hand of Wells. Count even at 2-2. Tries the breaking ball again. And again, just a bit up. Count runs full. It's a countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. Breaking ball this time. It finds the zone. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Caden Wells. His first since he entered in the 5th inning. We'll see the location of this pitch. 12-6 curveball right in the middle. Comes in really slow, 66 miles per hour, and it's now Wells will face Dominic McVeigh. 2 down, nobody on. Curveball drops it in for a strike once again. As Wells has really calmed the waters so far. Already through 2 innings pitched on his ledger. Pitch yanked outside, and Writing has to dive across to stop it from getting to the backstop. So far, Wells has retired all 6 batters he's faced. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. McVeigh going after that pitch. Looked like he was ahead of it. McVeigh 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Waves at that one, and it's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame for Caden Wells, who's had a nice Trinity debut. We'll stretch in San Antonio. Back for the bottom of the 7th on Tiger Network. Bottom of the 7th in the Alamo City. Tigers needing some runs, only 9 outs to work with, down 5. And Cal Coney will lead off the inning for Trinity. Coney, who has reached in both of his plate appearances today. Base hit and a hit by pitch. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch out of the hand of Tucker. One of many pitchers for Wisconsin Whitewater who was not on the staff last year. Benji Tucker, the junior and the native of Georgia, the right-handed pitcher. Misses inside, 1-1. Only 5 pitchers on the staff for Wisconsin Whitewater were with the team last season, one of them being Brady Malco, who finished his night, 4.2 innings pitched. 7 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Appealed the first on the swing, and Coney did not go around. 2-1 hitters count. Nobody out, nobody on yet for Trinity in the 7th. Grounded the other way, hit to second on a hop, and Thies, the easy throw for out number 1. First ground ball that Thies has seen today. One of the returners of that potent offense for Whitewater that led the nation in so many categories. Trinity maybe trying to channel a little bit of that. They need more than a little bit, at least tonight, down 5. Cam Champness, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Also recorded a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. Ahead here, 1-0 after the last pitch missed outside. Fouls that to the top of the screen behind him. Evens the count. Trinity has yet to have more than 5 players up to bat in an inning. Trying to change that here, not off to a good start. 1 out with nobody on in the frame. Pops that up right above me. Onto the bell center. 1, 2, 3. As that came in at a very, very high angle. Champness down 1-2. Tucker looking for his first strikeout of the outing. Fouled into the screen again as Champness continues to fight and stay alive. 9-hole hitter Matthias Riding waiting on deck. Champness, a .320 hitter last season, looking for his first hit of 2026. Grounded to first. We'll see if the play's made in time, and it is. Honkamp with the diving stop on the ground ball, and the flip to Tucker, who was covering. A nice swing the other way. And the diving stop by Honkamp and a nice cover by Tucker, who's fielded his position quite well tonight. Matthias Riding up to bat in the exact situation Whitewater would have hoped for. Nobody on, 2 down. Takes a pitch inside. Riding 0 for 1. Walked the last time he was up. Looking for the 4th Trinity hit of the game. Fouled off the end of the bat and skipped into the backstop, 1-1. The wind has mostly died down so far. A couple breezes every now and then. When it is blowing, it's blowing out to left field. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Finds himself down 1-2. Trying to reach for the 2nd time today. Get his team back into this game that has been in control of Wisconsin Whitewater for most of the 7 innings we've played so far. 1-2. Fouled into the screen. Of course, this score pales in comparison to what Whitewater did in their first 2 games here in San Antonio, the last time they played a full series here. A 14-3 victory in Game 1 and a 21-2 victory in Game 2. Absolute domination in those first 2 games, but then Trinity came back to split the series and win the next 2. Swing and a miss from Riding, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Tigers as Tucker continues to roll. We'll head into the 8th in San Antonio. Whitewater up by 5. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Phillips set to lead things off for Whitewater, who has the 6-1 lead, facing Caden Wells, who remains out there. He has retired every batter he's faced so far. Phillips trying to change that. 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Nelson Phillips, the switch hitter. Batting from the left-handed side in this at-bat. Ball misses low, evens the count at 1-1. Coney at second base, shifted over to his left. So a lot of room to go right up the middle for Phillips if he wants it. Foul ball into the screen, the count 1-2. Going down onto the field before first pitch of this one, and even being at Trinity practice before they got this one going earlier this week. Sentiment was that these guys just want to play. Coach Scannell saying they're tired of the regular practice schedule, just want to play some games. Strike 3 called. Wells bending the curveball in for the 3rd strike, his 3rd consecutive strikeout in his outing. 4 strikeouts on the night for Wells. 3 of them looking, a lot of them with that curveball as well. Wyatt Jensen stepping up to the plate. Has reached his last 2 times. A walk and a base hit. He's 1 for 2 overall. Grounded sharply to Lustina at 3rd. Shifts over and makes the throw. Off the bag is Baker, but he gets the tag. And it's out all the same. The throw a little bit errant from Lustina, but Baker able to recover with the tag. See it again here. Nice heads-up play by the sophomore first baseman. Goes down as the 5-3 put out all the same, but getting back to Trinity and kind of the antsiness just to play. Finding themselves down 6-1, but just ready to play some actual baseball. This is lined into the gap in right field potentially, but it's Singhania ranging over to make the play. Would have been a wall ball double, but he reads it well, and it ends the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame for Caden Wells. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. A new arm on the mound for Wisconsin Whitewater. It's Ethan Wickman, one of the 5 returning pitchers from last season's staff. 16 appearances last year, a 2-0 record, 26 innings pitched, and the ERA of 3.81. He last pitched in the College World Series through 2 1/3 against Rowan, 2 strikeouts, a walk, and no earned runs. As he faces the top of this Trinity lineup in Caleb Woodward, who tries to square up to bunt, eventually has to get out of the way of that pitch, which goes down as ball 1. The line on Benji Tucker is closed. 2 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And most importantly for Whitewater, being at 5, no earned runs. That pitch hits Woodward, and he will head to first. First time Caleb Woodward reaches in 4 plate appearances. So for the 3rd consecutive inning, the 3rd inning out of 4, Trinity has the leadoff man aboard, unable to do anything with the prior opportunities. We'll see what comes of this one. The lefty Wickman on, so it could be tough to run on him. Throws a strike to Singhania. Singhania 1 for 3, a base hit the last time he was up in the right field. Tigers trying to find some momentum. Singhania fouls it into the screen, 0-2. Trinity looking for anything offensively, only 3 hits, 1 run. The speedy Woodward on first. See how aggressive Tim Scannell wants to get here. Singhania, ground ball into right field. Woodward thought about going to 3rd. He'll stay at 2nd. And back-to-back Tigers have reached to open the 8th. Once again, Callan Singhania hits the ball the other way. That base hit looking very similar to the other one he had in this game. And now an opportunity for the heart of the order. Will Baker has reached once in this game by way of the walk. 0 for 2 outside of that with a strikeout. First pitch, strike 1. Baker in a lefty-lefty matchup. Woodward waits on 2nd, Singhania on 1st. Breaking ball misses, 79 out of the hand of Wickman. Take by Baker evens the count at 1-1. Caleb Woodward on 2nd, who had 18 stolen bases last season. Singhania went 1 for 1 last season. Stolen base in his only attempt. Foul ball off the bat of Baker. Will Baker, who scored the Tigers' only run tonight. Driven in by Nick Jones, who waits on deck. Talked about that series 2 years ago when Whitewater came down here to San Antonio. Game 3, more of the same, a Whitewater lead, but Trinity able to come back in that game. Game started by Joseph Shavana and finished by Will Hellings. Breaking ball misses. Now 2-2. Of course, that comeback aided by a Pierce Matthews grand slam. See if Will Baker has a moment in him like that. Runners bluff, and the pitch is outside. The count runs full, 3-2. Wickman looking for the first out of this inning. Trinity maybe seeing this as their opportunity. That's tapped foul towards the Whitewater dugout. We'll do the full count pitch again. A hit by pitch and a single to set up this opportunity. The 3-2 pitch to Baker. Outside, ball 4. And the bases are filled with Tigers. The first bases loaded opportunity for Trinity today. Will Baker working the no-out walk. He's on first. Singhania on second with the base hit. Woodward on third with the hit by pitch. And it will warrant a meeting from Aaron Holland. We'll talk to his junior pitcher. Was a part of that national championship team last year. Tigers down 5, the tying run on deck in Dixon, but first it's Nick Jones who has to come through. Bases loaded, nobody out. Jones 1 for 2. Base hit, he's also been hit by a pitch. Takes the first one inside, ball 1. Wickman working with the bases loaded. The lefty. Check swing foul. Goes into the screen, 1-1. Jones trying to collect the 5th Trinity hit of this game. Jones ahead of that and fouls it off. Ended up going right behind him on the screen, hitting the inside of his bat. Now a 2-strike count. The 1-2, the lefty delivers. Jones hits it high and foul over the Whitewater dugout in right field. Nick Jones last season a .292 hitter. 23 RBIs, trying to come through with another one. He already has one today. Jones chops one to third, could be 2, steps on the bag at third, on to first in time, and it's a double play. The run does score from third, and it's 6-2 as Woodward comes home, but 2 down in the inning. Jones just too far ahead of that. A 6-3 double play as Hopper did a good job to step on the bag and still make the throw to Hongkamp on the other side. Caleb Woodward winds up scoring the run. Now a 4-run game, and a pinch hitter comes out for Trinity. It's Thomas Moss, the second year, getting his first at-bat of the season. Pitch high, 1-0. Talking to head coach Tim Scannell about the guys that could play DH this season. Thomas Moss, the guy he mentioned, first among many names that can maybe fill in that position. Gets his first opportunity. Throw to second. Gets away into left field. And Baker will scamper back to second. Thought about taking third on the wild throw. After all that, just a 2-0 count. Thomas Moss last season, 17 games played, a .364 hitter. Takes a strike. Part of the depth that Trinity has. Only had 4 appearances after the month of March, so talked about the rest of the team being eager to play in a baseball game. Moss, probably chief among them. The 2-1. Moss lifts this one foul onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it rolls to the wall. Now in a 2-2 count after the foul ball. Baker waiting on second. Tigers already with a run in the frame after they had the bases loaded and nobody out. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. And Wickman, after having the bases loaded with nobody out, only gives up one. And it'll take us to the ninth inning. Whitewater with the 6-2 lead on opening night. We're back at Trinity University Ballpark on the campus of Trinity University as Whitewater has the 6-2 lead over the Trinity University Tigers. Caden Wells remains the pitcher for the Tigers, trying to protect this 4-run deficit and not let it get any bigger. Will face the leadoff man, Aaron Holland. Holland ropes one into right field. Hangs in the air a bit too long. And Singhanya's under it for out number one. The third consecutive flyout to right field for Aaron Holland, who, if the score holds, will be held hitless in this game after leading the nation in hits last season. Somebody that the Tigers were able to keep in check at the very least. Same thing cannot be said about Andy Thies. 2 hits in this one, a single and a double. All in all, a 2-for-3 day, plus the walk that he had in the second inning. Ahead here, 1-0. As Caden Wells has yet to allow a base runner. The 1-0. Lined and caught by Champness. Ranging to his left, he makes the play. Number of dazzling defensive plays for Cam Champness. Didn't have to move too far, but able to range over and still make the catch. Actually a better one than it looked live. Goes down as an L6. As Hopper steps into the batter's box. Hits this one sky high. A couple of Tigers charging under it. Can they make the catch? No, barely falls into foul ground. Combination of Wells, Writing, and Baker all coming in from their respective positions, trying to make that play. And Danny Hopper lives another day. The right-handed batter in an 0-1 count. The righty-righty matchup. Breaking ball misses. Now 1-1. Caden Wells trying to take this to the ninth inning with the Tigers in slam range. They need as many runs as they have hits today. Down 6-2. Breaking ball misses. 2-1. As Wells has shown that curveball here in this Trinity debut. Really stopped the bleeding. So Whitewater had scored in 4 of their first 5 frames. Curveball finds the zone. Strike 2. 2-2 pitch from Wells. Grounded past the dive of Baker. And it's the first hit given up by Wells. Danny Hopper, his second single of the game. So Caden Wells, one strike away from a perfect outing. Just a one hopper that finds its way into right field. And Whitewater a chance to extend the lead with their 8th hit of the game. First pitch for Wells, called strike to Cade Honkamp. Honkamp today 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats. It's been 2 ground balls since then. Runner goes. This is lined into right field and a base hit. Singhania has to cut it off, and it'll stop the run from scoring. Or will it? Throw home in time! Danny Hopper a little ambitious, trying to go from first to third, and ends up being erased by the throw from Singhania. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Tigers down to their last 3 outs when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Whitewater trying to close out a 6-2 victory in a top 10 matchup, and a matchup that is a rematch of the World Series of last year. Michael Lustina will lead things off, and it's a new pitcher, Brandon Brust. First pitch way high to Lustina. Brust, one of the 5 arms that was on Whitewater staff last year. 15 appearances, no starts. Earned a save, had a win-loss record of 1-0. ERA 3.32. Pitch just outside, and the Tigers dugout groaning over that call. Looked to be more than just outside. Either way, the count even at 1-1. Lustina 0 for 2. He does have a walk in this game, the only time he's reached this tapped foul. And the count quickly 1-2. Tigers down to their final 3 outs. Brust, the guy that Whitewater's turning to in a close-ish game. Not quite a save situation, being a 4-run game. But the guy they turn to get the hardest outs in baseball. The final 3. Pitch rides inside, and it's 2-2. Lustina, the 6th hitter. So it'll have to be 7, 8, 9 that come up big for Trinity. This is popped up into the air, and in foul ground it falls. Brust running in hard after it. Wondered if he would make a diving attempt for it. Instead, Lustina lives another day with a 2-2 pitch. Everybody settling in after the mad scamper to try and get the hanging ball. Tigers able to plate a run in the bottom of the 8th. Trying to find 4 here in the 9th. Inside, and the count runs full. Lustina had the back out of the way of the high pitch. Brust, the native of Texas, from the Woodlands, so a bit of a homecoming for him. Trying to secure his team an opening day victory. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Lustina waves at the breaking ball, 1 down in the 9th. Brings up Cal Coney. 1 hit in this game. That came in the 2nd inning. Since then, he's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out. Take strike 1. Last appearance for Brust. 2 innings pitched in the World Series against Denison. This much lower stakes than that, but still trying to secure the win. Pitch fouled off onto the bell center. 2, 3, 4 hops. And that's all we get. Coney quickly in an 0-2 count, 1 down in the 9th. Whitewater, a team that started last season 18-0. Trying to go 1-0 as Coney hits this one into right field. Coming in is Jensen, who makes the catch. And the Warhawks are 1 out away. And the last hope for Trinity will be Cam Champness. Hitless in today's game, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Also has a sacrifice bunt to his name. Trinity started last season 13-1, 7-0 overall. Going to take some kind of miracle for them to start even 1-0 this season. First pitch misses, ball 1. Champness sends this one deep left field. Back towards the wall, 2 Warhawks in, and the center fielder McVeigh makes the catch that ends the game for Wisconsin Whitewater as they follow up their national championship season with a 6-2 victory in San Antonio to start 2026. A complete game overall from the Warhawks. They took the 5-1 lead in the 5th inning and never looked back after that. They win Game 1 of this series just as they did 2 years ago. So they took Game 1 in the 4-game set here in San Antonio. The handshake at home plate from these 2 coaching staffs that have so much respect for each other and met each other in the World Series last year. They'll meet tomorrow in Game 2 and in Game 3, a doubleheader tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned for that. First pitch will be at 4 p.m. Central Time. You don't want to miss it. This series, only the first chapter of 4, 6-2 Whitewater with the win. Tucker getting the win for Whitewater, as Malco did not quite go the 5 innings he needed to get it, and Carter Aldman takes the loss for Trinity. That'll do it for us here in San Antonio and on Tiger Network. Thank you to everybody working today, especially our executive producer, Josh Munchagemba, who puts it all together. For everybody here in One Trinity Place, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.